All right, today we're going over how powerful your words really are and the two most powerful words in this planet. There's two words that can literally change your fate or determine your fate, that can affect your fate. It's two words, okay? Two words that work in real time together that can change your entire life. All right, so basically we have this guy, okay? This guy is, he's screaming. He's speaking some negative words into the, he's speaking some negative frequencies, okay? So right here, the negative marks are like the negative marks, subtraction signs, and he's speaking it out loud and it's coming back at him, okay? And I'm gonna explain to you guys why that happens, but okay, whatever you speak out loud comes back to you, whether it's good, whether it's bad, okay? So the first thing we're gonna start off with is the two most powerful words. So right here it says God, which is Yahweh. Okay, God. When you research what God actually is, or like his actual name, the most original one that it goes back to is Yahweh. Okay, so whenever I read God, I read Yahweh. Okay, so and God Yahweh said unto Moses, I am that I am. And he said, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am have sent me unto you. So right here, he declares I am have sent me unto you. He declares I am as a person. Okay, I am is not only just like something that he's saying, he is showing that it's a person. Okay, and then he's saying that Moses said, and he said unto Moses, I am that I am. So when he was like revealing his name to Moses, he said I am that I am. Okay, so right here he says that he's I am. And then in the next sentence, it says, I am have sent you. So I am is another name for Yahweh, which is God, okay? So I want you guys to remember that. That's very important, okay? So in the New Testament, there was multiple like declaration, affirmations, like statements, which is I am statements. And we have I'm just gonna read the statements itself. You guys can read the rest if you guys want to pause it. I'm gonna read the I am sections. All right, he says, I am the bread of life, I am the light of the world, I am the door, I am the good shepherd. He says, I am the resurrection. He also said, I am the good shepherd again. He says, I am the vine, I am the true vine, I am the way. And he says, I am the good shepherd again. All right, so all these times where he says I am, he uses I am. Okay, he uses I am plus, okay, let's do plus. And then we could say, in this case, he used a positive word, okay? He used a positive word. So this is good. This is really good. This is what you want to do. This is how you want to use God's name, okay? Now that we know that this is God's name, that shows how important these words are, okay? For another reason, oh, I just thought of something. All right, so I was thinking of a scripture. Since now that we know that I am is God's name, which is Yahweh's name, all right, we have the scripture, which is Exodus 27, okay? And it says, thou shalt not take the name of Yahweh, thy God, in vain. Yahweh will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. So the reason why this is important, if you're using God's name in an I am statement, you're using his name. So whatever you say with that, you don't want it to be negative. You want it to be positive or have a good connotation, because if it's negative, then you're using his name in vain. And he said he won't hold you guiltless. That's why in the first picture, whatever he spoke out loud, it came right back to him, because he wasn't held guiltless. Whatever he spoke using I am statement, okay, let's just say he used the I am statement, it came back to him, okay? And I want you guys to remember that. So now we're going to do some practices, okay? We're going to do some practices. There's a few words that people say on the daily basis. A lot of people, okay, the main words that we're going to have up here is I am. All right, a lot of people say these words on a daily basis, okay? The world trains you to use these words inappropriately in a way that can actually hurt you, all right? So one major way, okay? One major way. Okay, they'll be like, they're tired. I'm not gonna say, yeah, they say that they're tired, okay? People will say, I am with this word right here. All right, now let's look at what this word actually means. All right, so when you look at what this word actually means, it means exhausted, drained, fatigued. It means done, lethargic. Lethargic means slow to move or act, indifferent, characterized by laziness or lack of energy. Okay, they're feeling sluggish. Okay, what else is this word? Lazy-ish, sluggard. Okay, so whenever you say I am plus the word that we just wrote right here, you're calling on more definitions than you even know. Because most of the time, the human mind thinks they're just saying this. They think that they're just saying this, that they're tired. But the way when Yahweh, when the vibrations of your speech, whenever your words go up into the ether, we're gonna say the ether, and it hits Yahweh's ears and he hears it, he's hearing all of this. Because Yahweh thinks on a higher level than humans, okay? He thinks he made the words. He made all the words on this planet, so he knows what they mean, like on the deepest level, okay? So whenever you're saying this, you're saying that you're sluggish. You're saying that you're lazy. You're saying that you're motionless. You're saying that you're slothful. You're saying all these different things, okay? Which are really bad words to say, okay? And whenever you say that, let's just say you're saying that you're these things, okay? Okay, sluggish, lazy, slothful, okay? So even though you just said this one sentence, you got these countless negative connotations coming back at you, okay? Because that's what you put into the atmosphere. That's what you put into the world. So that's what's gonna come. So then this is why a lot of people don't understand why their life can change like this, okay? Whatever you're speaking into the world, whatever you're speaking comes back at you, and it comes back way harder than what you put out. Because you put one word out, but you got infinite negative words coming back at you because you spoke it into existence. That's why it's so important to understand what you're saying before you say it. Because if you don't understand what you say before you say it, you can be saying a lot of bad things. And one way that the world tricks people is they have these things called songs, okay? They have these things called songs and music, okay? Oh my God, one good example that, bro, there was this one girl, this song was so popular on TikTok, and every time I hear this song, it makes me so mad, bro. It makes me mad because the song is so like catchy, and it makes it sound like, it makes you say some like really bad things. All right, so this song blew up on TikTok like really recently. She made this song in 2011, and the music industry decided to blow it up a decade later. How? Okay, that's how you know, like, a lot of the things in this world are weaponized against you, okay? So let's just look at some of the lyrics real quick, okay? Okay, this sentence right here, sorry. Okay, I'm not gonna say the first word, but sorry, this is bad too. You don't want to say that you're sorry. It's better to say that you apologize, okay? And I'm gonna show you guys why. I'm gonna break that word down real quick, okay? All right, so whenever you speak these words, you're basically like casting a spell on yourself, okay? So whenever you do these, okay, so let's do sorry. What does sorry mean? Okay, sorry means mean, nasty, disgusting, despicable, disgraceful, detestable, unethical, low. That means you're feeling low, okay? What is low? Okay, when you say that you're sorry, you're saying that you're feeling low. That means you're feeling you're feeling poor, you're feeling inferior, you're feeling lower class, you're feeling all these negative words, even depressed, miserable, mournful, woeful. So whenever you're saying you're sorry, you're sending out one word, but all these negative words are getting sent back out to you in your frequency, okay? Because you don't you don't understand what you're saying. But yeah, you don't understand what you're saying, but this is what's getting put back at you in your life. So that's why typically if someone is a person that has to apologize to a lot of people frequently, and let's just say they say that they're sorry, that's why it's like an endless cycle of these things. They keep having to apologize to someone. Once they do one bad thing, they ended up kind of doing another bad thing because they already spoke into existence. They created this motion of energy that's affecting them negatively. Okay, so you don't be this person. Watch what you say, okay? Because just one word can change your whole frequency. One word can change your whole timeline. Like, you could have been on such a good timeline, said one word, now you're on a whole opposite direction from where you were going. All right, anyways, let's do these. Okay, songs and music. Okay, so as you guys can see, this is literally in that song. So imagine you're just singing this song, it's catchy, you're like and then you say these two words right here. You say that you're sorry when you're singing this song. Even though you're singing a song, the frequency that you just spoke out loud comes back at you still regardless. Like, the world doesn't care if you're singing a song. They don't care if you're having a conversation. They don't care if you're talking to yourself. It doesn't care. It doesn't care. If you spoke it out loud, there's going to be consequences, or there can be benefits to whatever you're saying out loud. Okay, so let's keep looking at this song, let's look at this song lyrics a little bit more. I'm gonna try to find another one. All right, this song right here, the amount of times I see this same sentence, it says anxiety. Oh, like, what, bro? Like, I'm not even gonna repeat what it's saying because I'm not trying to mess up my frequency. But like, just look at the lyrics of this song, bro. Look at the lyrics of this song. It's really, if you guys don't know, okay, this is a whole nother thing. Whenever you're facing negative emotions, okay, whenever there's negative emotions aren't of Yahweh, if that makes sense. Okay, they aren't of Yahweh. Okay, so whenever you have, I'm just gonna go here real quick. Okay, I'll put this right here. All right, so Yahweh, God, the God of the Bible, okay, he's a God of, like, his characteristics are like being righteous, being strong. He tells you, there's certain verses in the Bible that he says, be strong and courageous. He tells you to be strong, be courageous. Yeah, like, let's just say those positive words. So then there's other words that aren't from him. And these words are actually entities. All right, there's entities that actually control these emotions. We could say demons. There's demons that make you feel these emotions, okay? And I'll show you guys in the Bible pretty soon. Okay, so these demons, there's a fear demon. There's a demon that operates and controls the fear emotion. And he puts it upon people, or people put it upon themselves and allow this demon to enter their life, okay? You have an anxiety demon, okay? Anxiety. Ew, my writing. Okay, you have anxiety demons. You even got, you can do, there's lust demons. There's any negative emotion you can think of. There's demons of wrath. Like, there's all these different demons. And whenever you're speaking these words into the air, okay, let's just say the demon wasn't even on you or anything. Like, the demon just wasn't on you. But then you listen to this song. You listen to a song like this that's talking about how a person has anxiety. Okay, imagine you're reading or singing this song, and you're casting all these different spells, putting all this different energy out loud, and all this stuff is coming back into you. It's like the vampire movies. Like, you guys know when it's a vampire movie and they be in their house. Okay, they be in their house, and then the vampires have to ask to be let in. Like, the vampires can't walk past, like, they have like a boundary. They can't walk in unless the owner of the house lets them. That's how your mind, your body, your frequency is. The negative emotions can't get in unless you allow them to, unless you've welcomed them. If you've opened a area for them to enter into. That's the only time they could walk over into you, or if they're just sent to you, and that's a whole other different story. Okay, but right now we're just gonna go on the basis of most of the time people allow negative energy, negative frequency into their life. Okay, this is someone's home. Okay, we could just put some like warns on these guys so that you guys know that they're like demonic. Okay, all right. So most of the time, you unknowingly allow negative energy to enter into your home. And your home, even though it's a house with like 4 walls, 4 corners, whatever, this could also be like your own house. Like your body is a house for your soul. So it's like you don't want to allow these negative frequencies, negative energies, negative entities into your life, into your body. Let's just say your home. Okay, would you let let's just say you're in the world's coming to an end, there's vampires, would you let a vampire into your house? I hope the answer is no. I just hope the answer is no. Okay, I hope so. So unknowingly you allow these draining energies, these energies that are dragging you down, which goes into the word, if you like look up what a vampire is, something that like sucks the blood out of you, which your blood is life. So by you allowing negative energy into your life, you're allowing like vampire energy to suck your life away in a way. Okay, so it's very important to not sing songs that are very negative. And if let's say you like this song or something, let's just say you like this song's catchy to you, you gotta consciously know like to skip over certain words. Okay, like you can, there's a way to sing this song without saying the negative stuff. Okay, anything that's personal, anytime she says anything that's personal, like I am or I or this, all these different things, don't say that unless you trying to cast that energy on yourself. But anyways, that's a really good example that just popped up. Be careful what you are saying out loud. Okay, so the next thing, I am is calling upon Yahweh's name. Okay, so this backs up everything that I've been saying. We have Isaiah 55:8-9, and it says, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith Yahweh. For as the heavens are higher than earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." So Yahweh's thoughts are different than the people on earth's thoughts. He's the one that made these words, and people barely even know what the words that they be saying even mean. Okay, they just don't. When you search up the word sorry, if someone says that they're sorry, they don't know that the word means all these different things. They just don't. The average person does not know that the word means all these different things. All right, but Yahweh created the word, so he knows what you're saying. He knows what you're saying, and yeah, he knows what you're saying. As simple as that. But anyways, let's go. Oh, okay, we're going to the next part. So this talks about speaking negative stuff towards yourself, okay, or like claiming or affirming negative things. So now we're going to get into, did you know, if you're a person, let me draw it real quick. All right, if you're a person and let's just say you argue, okay, let's say you're an argumentative person, and this is another person. So this person's red, he's saying some negative stuff. This person's pretty neutral right now, but once that negative frequency of this other person hits them, let's just say they get taken over, they start getting a little mad. Okay, so now their whole frequency is negative now. So now they say some negative stuff back. Okay, you can't let other people's frequencies change your frequency. Okay, and that goes with like a vampire almost. Okay, so right here, this person was originally neutral. He was black as neutral, like he didn't have like a certain color, he was just chilling. And then when a negative frequency hit him, he allowed it to control him in a way and influence him. And now he got mad and he became a negative person speaking negative frequency back. Okay, that's one example. You do not allow other people's frequencies to control you. You gotta have control. Okay? You gotta have control. Okay, you could be the only good person. You could be a light. You could be like a good person surrounded in a world of negative people. All right, this is all these lines are different people. Okay, these people, they don't want to see one good person. They want everyone to be just like them. That's why this world, if you do, let's just say you're a moral person, the world wants to try their hardest to make you unmoral. They want to influence you. They want to peer pressure you into doing like the craziest things. When you look at social media, when you go to social media, you start scrolling, the world wants you to start singing these secular music. They want you to start doing these degenerate things. They want you to be like everyone else because it's like an army. They're just trying to recruit more members. Okay, so whenever you're trying to do good, whenever you're getting better, whenever you're becoming a better person, that's why you experience more negative encounters of people trying to influence you to become negative again once you're changing, because they want you back. They want you back on their team. Okay, they want you back on their team. But whenever you're evil amongst evil, it's just like a normal day-to-day, like a normal day-to-day life. If you're just one of these red line people, if you're one of these people already, man, you're not, like, it's just a normal life. Whenever someone argues with you, it's a normal thing. So you're gonna argue back. Whenever someone tries to make you mad, you were already mad. You're just like one of them. You don't want to be like one of these people. Okay, and I'm gonna say right now, majority of the world are these red line people. You don't have there's a select few people that will be like these green people. And I will say, the closer you are to Yahweh, the closer you are to being one of these people. Okay, because naturally, you know the characteristics. You have morals. You're not grounded. You're beyond this energy. Okay, you're beyond this energy. Okay, so you, on the day-to-day life, they want to affect you. They want to influence you. They want you to be like them. So what you have to do is we obviously live in the world. We live in this world right here amongst all these people, but you have to have your own bubble in a way. You have to have your own bubble, your own world. You know how people, like, when a little kid goes to the store with their mom and starts skipping around, like, their mom could be so stressed out, but the little kid is just like in la la land. That's what they call it. Like, the little kid is like, even though everything around them could be going bad, they're in la la land. Like, everything's just amazing because they're a little kid. They don't have anything to stress about. They don't have anything to worry about. You need to be like that. Okay, you need to be like that. That's a very important characteristic trait that you have to be. And there's so much scriptures that go with what I just said right now. There is come as a child. Did you guys know that in the Bible, when Moses was going into the promised land, people 20 and up didn't make it into the promised land because it said that you have to come as a child, and all these people were already like, if you're past 20, you're pretty much developed. Your brain's developed. You think you're grown. You're not willing to listen to new information. So we have this scripture right here. So those people didn't get to make it into the promised land. Only little children came into the promised land. All right. So right here we have, and verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. So when it's funny because I remember, like, whenever I'm like in high school, college, whenever you're like in middle school, even middle school, elementary school, you'll have like little kids saying that they're grown. Like you'll have little kids your age saying that they're grown, little kids saying that they're grown. You got little kids that act like they're grown, that curse like grown-up people. It's like the children aspect of them is taken away based on their environment. Okay, it says except ye be converted. So even though you might be grown right now, you might have your bills, you might have all these different things, you have to convert yourself to a child mentally, if that makes sense. And that doesn't mean go play with like crayons and stuff again. Okay, there's nothing wrong with crayons. Okay, but it doesn't mean to go like literally physically go do children activities. You have to adopt the mentality of a child, because like I was saying before, a child, they don't have fear. They don't have fear. Children don't have to, like, they don't stress all day. They don't stress. They're always just like in la la land. They They always have their own bubble. The whole world could be getting destroyed around them, but they don't care. They're just like, they'll start playing with the rubble of the buildings that are falling apart or something. Like, they're just always having fun doing the most random things. They're always exploring, always imaginative, and they don't have fear. They're not stressed out. They're not facing problems that adults have. Because when adults, the thing about adults, the thing about people that think they're grown, all right? So when you think you're grown, when you think you're an adult, when you think you're grown, when you think you're mature, it's like your brain's capacity is at like 100% basically. You're not as open. All right, so a kid, okay, we can do this. We can do a kid. A kid, they don't know anything. They don't really know anything. Their brain capacity is at 0. They're always still trying to learn. They're learning off the experiences that happen to them. But when an adult, they're already programmed. They're programmed to the day-to-day life. They're in this routine. They're programmed to different reactions and responses that happen to them in day-to-day life. They're already programmed. But a child is not programmed. They're open to new things. They're open to new ways to think. They're open to new experiences. They're open. They're like completely open. But even the word adult, if we go to like the word adult, or adult, a person who is fully grown or developed. So whenever you're maxed out, whenever you think you're at full capacity, that's actually a bad thing. Okay, that's actually a very bad thing, because it shows that you don't have much room to grow. You don't, because it says that this person is fully grown or fully developed. If you think you're fully grown or fully developed, full, like if a cup is full already, like let's say you want some water and the cup is already full of water, you wouldn't put more water into it. You don't know if the water in it is bad or if the water in it is good. Okay, it's like a parable, low-key. So just make sure you're not full. Make sure you're always open to learning new information, new ideas, new ways of thinking, unless your life is absolutely completely perfect. Okay, if you are absolutely completely perfect and fine and your life is absolutely wonderful, you would not change a single thing about it, then I mean, even if your life is perfect, there always is still more to learn. But all right, let's keep going. All right, so now we have, okay, so we did the example about this person changing his frequency based on other people around him. Now we have this person. Did you know that whatever you say to someone, if you speak negative frequency into someone, whatever you say, whether this person, let's just say this person's neutral, whatever frequency you put out comes back at you. So if you call someone dumb, that comes back at you. Okay, if you call someone ugly, that comes back at you. If you call someone anything negative in this world, it's coming back at you some way, some shape, some way, somehow it's coming back towards you. Okay, anytime you will open your mouth and speak anything, it's coming back at you. Okay, energy doesn't die, it just gets transferred. Okay, so when that energy transfer is put out from you, and let's just say it has nowhere to go, it's coming back at you. Okay, that's why whenever you speak, make sure you are speaking positive. That's why when someone's a hater, if people are haters, usually bad stuff happens to them. But people that are only good, that like just they're just good to everyone, they're like their whole life, their whole existence is just good, they usually get better stuff. They usually get good stuff coming back at them. Okay, and the scripture for that is right here. As he loved cursing, so let it come unto him. All right, so let it come unto him. So if you like to curse, okay, if you like to curse, means to like, we could look at what curse is. Curse meaning. So if you like to a cause of great harm or misfortune, if you like to cause people harm or misfortune, it comes back at you. A profane or obscure oath or word, a prayer or invocation for harm or injury to come upon one. So if you're wishing for people to get hurt, if you're wishing for the worst for someone, that's coming back at you. Okay, that's coming back at you. Okay, we have to call upon divine or supernatural power, send injury upon. So if you want, let's say you're over here praying for someone to get hurt, you're praying for them, you're just praying for them to get hurt, that energy is coming back at you. Okay, if you're to utter imprecations, swear, you're swearing at someone, that's coming back at you. Okay, anything negative that you put out, let it come unto him. Okay, as he delighted not in blessings, so let it be far from him. So if you are the person that's always cursing other people, if you're not blessing other people with your words, it said so let blessings be far from him. So if you're a person that curses all the time, that wants to curse people, the blessings are going to be even further away from you. Okay, all right, so now as he clothed himself with cursing, like as with his garment, so let it come upon into his bowels like water, and like oil into his bones. So this is kind of like that vampire scripture, okay, or the vampire like example. So a person can be perfectly normal, they're neutral, they could say some negative stuff, boom, the negative stuff comes back at them, and now that negative energy just becomes them. Because right here is like, originally this person was cursing, and it says, so let it come upon his bowels like water, and like oil into his bones. So it's like, if something's oil into your bones, that means it's like deep in you on a molecular, like a deep level, a molecular level. It's like it's in you, like it's literally, that's how deep these frequencies get. Oh my gosh. Because bro, I don't know if you guys ever heard the experiment. It's like a scientific experiment where they speak life or they speak death into like a plant, and they just see how fast it grows. The plants that they speak life into grow faster, but the plants that they speak death into, they speak negative stuff into, it starts like decaying instantly, even though if they get the same amount of water. So it's the same thing for people. This is another example. If you believe, the moment you believe, right? The moment you believe, think, the moment you believe or think that you feel sick, for example, let's just say it's like a cold or you feel sick. Let's say sick / cold / sick. Right? The moment that you think you have like a sickness or a coldness, the moment you think it or you believe it, you start to feel it. Because at first you put this energy out, so the energy just got sent out, and then once that energy was sent out, it goes and affects you on a molecular level. Like it goes within your cells. Like it literally is just, you become that thing. Okay, and that goes with that scripture that we just read, this scripture right here. I was like, so let it come into his bowels like water, and like oil into his bones. Oil into your, like imagine if all your bones were just covered with oil, but imagine that as like positivity or negative. You would want it to be positive, because if it's oil into your bones, that sounds like a bunch of like diseases, honestly. Like if it was a negative frequency, if it was some negative stuff, that like, yeah, that would be really bad. So now we have, let it be unto him as garments which cover him, for a girdle wherewith he is girded continually. So this makes me think. This makes me really think. If you've been speaking negativity, how do you get that negativity off of you? Okay, how do you get that negativity off of you? And right now, there's multiple ways I'm thinking. Okay, since Yahweh is the source, that person that, okay, so everyone has a piece of Yahweh within them, which is the scripture that we're going to go into next. It says, know ye not that the body is the temple of Yahweh, which is in you, which ye have of Yahweh, and ye are not of your own. Therewith bless we Yahweh, even the Father. Therewith curse we men, which are made after the similitude of Yahweh. So if Yahweh, in Genesis, Yahweh made man in his image, and then right here it says that Yahweh is, which is in you. So if Yahweh's in you, if he's inside of you already, if he's in you, like his spirit is already in you, and you're, let's just say someone speaks negativity towards you, it's almost like they're insulting Yahweh in a way. Because if he's in you already, if you and Yahweh are like together, if you guys are like, if he's inside of you, okay, and you're made in his image. Wait, let's just do purple. Okay, purple, let's just say that's like the spirit of Yahweh, spirit of God that's in you. Okay, if someone speaks negativity towards you, that's almost like speaking negativity towards, like, it's not the same, but like Yahweh, if he's already in you and you're just a vessel for him, then it's like what does that mean this person's doing? That's really bad. That's why you really don't want to do that, because that's why it comes back. Okay, so what you guys want to do if you want to like spiritually cleanse yourself, okay, I'll say the first thing, fasting. I'll say fasting and praying. Fasting and praying. Reason why I say fasting literally heals you on a molecular level. It cleans your cells. So if you fast, you're cleaning your cells, you're cleaning your body, you're removing toxins. And this could be way deeper than what this could be, like very deep. Okay, this could be very deep. So fasting cleans. Yo, why did it put the S that far away? Okay, we can do cleans body / cells. Okay, we can do body / cells. It literally heals you. It's literally a healing, a physical heal. And then praying, I'll say praying because it's a spiritual heal. It's like a spiritual healing. All right, those two things can help tremendously. And fasting can be done in multiple different ways. You could do here, we could do like a list of fasts. You can do a social media fast. You can do a media fast. You could do a food fast. Okay, you can do food fast. You can literally do a music fast. There's music fast that you could do. Music. You could fast from people. You could just isolate yourself for a few days. Now you're fasting from people. All right, each one of these fasts will have like a different significance to you. You could do a complete fast where it's like no food, no water for a day, or a couple, if you're like that, if you're built like that. All right, there's all these different types of fasts, and each one of these fasts is going to significantly help you in a different way or similar ways. Okay, each one of these fasts. And the praying is going to help you. Yeah, it's going to help you as well. Okay, but now, if we have to summarize class, you have to watch the words that you speak. The words that you put out, you need to make sure that they're positive. Okay, you need to make sure that they're positive, because just like all the negative words can affect you, we did a lot of negative examples. Okay, we did a lot of examples of how negativity affects you, but let's just say it's all positive. Let's just say it's all positive. That positive energy is going to come back to you, and you're going to be filled with that positive energy. Okay, because negative is not stronger than positive. It only makes sense if the negative had all these different effects, the positive can have the same effect, but it'll be a positive effect. All right, because I mean, even there's no instance in this world where negativity overpowers positivity or goodness. Okay, it just doesn't. Positivity always wins. And you have that one whenever you're kids in like kindergarten, they say like kill them with kindness, kill them with kindness. Yeah, so that's pretty much the end. This is I think this is a really good class. A lot of people need this information. This could significantly change your life, your day-to-day life. It could significantly change it and affect your life from like forever. Remember, all of this information comes from Yahweh. I make sure to use the Bible so that you guys know that it comes from Yahweh. See, a lot of people don't own up that Yahweh creates all information, but Yahweh created everything. So everything that you guys learn is from Yahweh. I'm just spreading it out. I'm spreading out the knowledge. Okay. Anyways, praise Yahweh. May Yahweh's name be blessed forever. Hopefully you guys learn a lot from this class. Yeah. I'll see you guys.